Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Uncensored with Sevyn K. I am Sevyn K, a relationship, life, and manifestation coach, combining the teachings of all three to help you bring in the love, life, success
Let's
that
get
you so
started.
much want, need, and desire. Alright guys, so today's going to be yet another super juicy
Watch
video.
until the end.
And we're going to talk about this thing called I got blocked by my ex, or the dumper, or I got blocked. And it could be from someone that you truly care about that perhaps is not someone that left you or broke up with you, maybe a sibling, a best friend, who knows. But I will say that this video is going to be more dedicated towards the breakup, meaning the ex, the dumper, has left, has exited the building. You are left to pick up the pieces of this thing called your life again, and they have blocked you. Often leaves a feeling of impending powerlessness, frustration, anger, feels that you are being rejected, and it is compounded obviously by the fact that there has been a breakup. So many of you perceive being blocked as something absolutely awful. And I will say that the first time I experienced being blocked by my ex, it was an awful feeling because I didn't see any benefit. I didn't see how I can turn the situation around. And I didn't see any leverage in this thing called being blocked. He completely made it where I could not reach out. Now, over time, my mentality about being blocked has completely changed. And the reason for that, guys, is because we all live in our own reality, in our own matrix, if you would say. You know, every one of us, every second, hour, minute, moment, day of the year creates a story that we live into that becomes our beliefs, and then it becomes our law, and those become the guidelines of how we live our life. And so when you have a story that you have fed yourself, you are absolutely going to believe it, live into it, and stand by it. And that is what precedes your emotions, your reactions, and actions, and often giving you an outcome that's either favorable or unfavorable. And so I want to shift your mentality, and I want you to reprogram how you actually see being blocked, because as horrible and awful as it may sound, it actually will gain you a lot of leverage, because being blocked is a form of the ex/the dumper communicating. So I want to give you an example of what I mean by we live in our own matrix and we live in our own reality. So let's just suppose we have John and Susie standing at the window. Two individuals standing side by side in the same home, staring out the same window on a rainy, stormy, cloudy day. John cracks the window just to take in the smell of the rain, to hear the rain droplets. He is enamored and completely subdued by the beauty of the scenery, the view and the sounds of thunder and lightning, the rain streaming down the street, the grass and the trees being fed. He is just overwhelmed with an emotional sense of relief, romance, based on what he is seeing on this beautiful cloudy day. He even turns to Susie and says, wow, I just feel like we can have some intimacy moments in this time. I feel like we should have a Netflix night. His perception, the story that he has given himself of this beautiful, cloudy, rainy day is that all is good, all is beautiful, and here's nature doing its thing exactly as it should be. Susie, staring at the same window, at the same rain, the same cloudy day, is overcome and subdued with feelings of frustration, resentment, because the rain and the clouds have completely sabotaged her day. She does not like driving or want to drive in the rain. She detests the traffic that rain causes, and now she's even more upset because yesterday Susie got her car washed and now it's all wet and dirty from the rain. So she turns to John and says, no thank you, I am frustrated and upset. I just wish it wouldn't have rained today. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Two people staring at the same thing, seeing the same rain, viewing the same lightning and thunder, and yet each of them have really perceived it completely different. While John absorbed and loved and took it in, his story was, this is a beautiful day. I feel relaxed. I feel romantic. I want to have a Netflix night with my Susie. while Susie, looking at the same scenario, fed herself a story that the rain and the clouds completely ruined her day, and therefore rejecting the advances of romance and intimacy and a Netflix night from John. Two people standing side by side, looking at the exact same thing, living in their own matrix and reality. John's story had a favorable, positive outcome. That is what he lived into. Susie's story that she fed herself and lived into had a negative, unfavorable outcome and causing rift between John and Susie. Two people, same scenario, same window, same rain, two different realities, two different perceptions, two completely different outcomes. And so oftentimes, ladies and gentlemen, when we only see a situation through a story, the one we choose to live into, because everything in life merits a choice, and you have the ability to create freedom by choosing to change.
There is freedom in creating a different choice and perspective
that precedes your emotions, your actions, your reactions, and then a specific outcome. So with that said, let's talk about how that applies to being blocked. As technology evolved, this button exists that is allowing people to completely block all communication via text, phone, email, and even on social media. Oftentimes, when a person breaks up with you, they need distance. They want to exit their relationship, gain their freedom, and pursue whatever it is they feel is going to fulfill them. They have made the choice over time, painfully, that this relationship that they were in with you no longer served them. And so one of the things that unfortunately occurs to the person that's actually dumping or leaving the relationship is, I don't want to hurt this person. I don't want to see them cry. I don't want to see them upset. I do love them. I do care for them, but this relationship no longer serves me. I want out. And the courage that it takes is incredible. Some people take years to develop the courage to end a relationship, even a marriage, because of the fear of the backlash, the consequences, the aftermath of the reaction of the person they're choosing to leave. Once the person has made the choice and says, hey, listen, I am done, I want out, I am leaving you, the person being left often can overreact, and rightfully so. It's a very painful, scary feeling. It's a sense of a powerlessness, hopelessness, abandonment, and many people will engage in very intense outputs and emotions, often leaving the dumper, now your ex, feeling guilty, with pain, with agony, confusion, uncertainty. This is exactly what they don't want to deal with, and therefore you get blocked. They want to evade the negative emotions that they would have to contend to and confront upon the exit of a relationship. So you, the person that is being blocked, feels here it is, yet something else this person did, and now I am being made felt like they are my enemy. Did they ever love me? Did they ever even care about me? Because how can you break up with me and on top of that, block me? Now, moving forward, some people have been blocked a little bit further past the breakup. Why? Because many people have chosen not to respect the choice of the person that has walked away. This is a clear indication that you may be doing too much. This person has the right to exit a relationship, and as painful as it seems, and as tough as the consequences on both parties will be, this person doesn't want your communication. And if you are calling and texting and emailing excessively, you will get blocked. Again, it's an awful feeling to most because you only have one perception of what being blocked looks like. So now let's change your perception. When a person blocks you, it is intentional and it carries a series of steps on their device or computer. Therefore, nobody can get blocked by mistake. This is an intentional decision to push away your ability to communicate. Many of you have had no ability or the willpower to go no contact. And no contact, and I mean radio silent the right way, is the first thing that you must do after you've expressed your emotions about the breakup. You should retreat and go within and go about working on you, rechanneling your energy on you. And unfortunately, it is a tough act to follow. many will not have the discipline or the emotional intelligence or the emotional muscle to push through on no contact. So the first benefit of being blocked is that you are going to be forced to go into no contact. When a person blocks you, whether you want to communicate or not, you cannot. There is no ability for them to receive your email, calls, or text, or for you to reach out via social media. And now you have no choice but to practice no contact. No contact for you. It is the biggest way to create distance and gain clarity from the circumstances. I always say that no contact is for you. The dump be first. It is your benefit first. The byproduct is that eventually the dumper will reach out if you maintain yourself in no contact and work on you and actually take the steps forward to push through and move on. And not move on from wanting reconciliation, but moving on from the urgency and the desire to constantly have to take action to show and prove this person that they were wrong in leaving and exiting their relationship. So when you are blocked, you are being forced to exercise your no contact skills, emotions, and emotional muscle, because it is a requirement, a necessity for you to work on you, create space, get distance, and respect that person's choice. So that is the first benefit of being blocked. Now, the same way that a person has to take intentional steps physically and mentally to block you, they will also have to do the exact same thing or more to unblock you. So I want to make clear to you guys that the only reason you even know you were blocked is because you were communicating at an unwanted time, at the wrong time. Because had you been in no contact, you would have never known that you, Mr. or Miss, were blocked. But we're here now. So you are now blocked. You have been forced into no contact. You have retreated. You get the point. And now you have turned your energy, your focus on you. Okay, great. So step number 2, and why being blocked is also extremely beneficial and not so bad. When a person finally has gotten to the stage of concern because you have not reached out, you're not texting, you're not calling, you're not pursuing, you're not on their social media, you're not watching their stories, they start to question themselves. Why is this person not reaching out or pursuing me or contacting me? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I blocked them. Did they text me? Did they call me? Do they even miss me? But how would I know? I can't, because I yet have made another choice to keep them at bay. I blocked them. So now the dumper, your ex, has to make an intentional, conscious decision to unblock you, which also requires a set of physical, formal steps. But in the midst of them wanting to unblock you means that they have been thinking of you, concerned that you are moving on, maybe no longer available for them, and now they want to see if you will reach out. And now it is their responsibility to make complete effort to make it known to you somehow, some way, that you are no longer blocked. And oftentimes this will force them out of the concern stage into the wanting to communicate stage, because oftentimes when a person is unblocked, and if they are successfully pushing through on working on them, reinventing them, re-socializing, becoming productive again, moving on and pushing forward, they will never notice they were unblocked because you have not been reaching out. The dumper will start to wonder, I unblocked them. It's been days. It's been weeks. Oh my God, it's even been a month. And they still haven't reached out. They begin to lose their power. They begin to drain thoughts of what is going on. Why is my person not reaching out? I mean, I unblocked them. Shouldn't they be trying to find out? Shouldn't they be trying to communicate with me? I mean, it's been a couple of days. It's been a couple of weeks. And now you are posturing yourself with absolute resilience, strength, and that becomes extremely magnetic. That is where the dumper starts to become extremely even more attracted to you and desires you more, because now you have completely turned the tables by not only not disputing that you were blocked or circling around where they socialize or live or where they practice any type of consistent influence in their community. You respected not just the breakup, but being blocked by leaving it where it is and moving forward. And now that they have unblocked you, now they're concerned, now they're worried, now they're missing you, now they're wondering, where are you and why haven't you actually even taken the time to notice that you were unblocked? This, ladies and gentlemen, is a form of communication. And now they feel they have to reach out, and somehow, some way, you will see evidence or receive some sort of notification that, hey, I have reopened the channels of communication again. I kind of miss you and I want to talk to you, and you're unblocked now. All by their own mere efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, being unblocked actually gains you leverage and pushes you into a different vantage point, because now they must completely come to you with their tail tucked between their legs and do something or anything to let you know that I now want communication. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not view being blocked as a completely negative thing. If you have been not so good at no contact and you continue to break no contact or excessive contact, this is how they will deal with keeping you at bay. So do not look at no contact or being blocked as a bad thing. It is necessary for you to rebuild yourself, to become resilient and strong, because you are amazing and you absolutely can push through and become a better version than that of the person they left behind. Learn to do all that's necessary to reattract, but to also feel great again in your own skin, build your confidence and your self-esteem, and know that you should always act with dignity and self-respect, and that you don't need to chase or pursue. If a person chooses to leave, then they must choose to make the effort to return and gain your love, your interest, and of course your trust and your time back. And part of that is they need to make the effort to show you that, hey, I unblocked you and I am curious and I miss you and I want to communicate, and now I have to make the effort to show you that I am willing to undo what I have just done. So there is no reason to be upset, to cry, beg, or scream, or wonder how you can make them unblock you. Allow your absence to do the work for you. So, guys, if you need any coaching or one-on-one to help you through these moments, these tough times, the description gives all the details. I thank you so much for supporting my channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. Remember, guys, that you always have the power. I hope this video helped. Please post your comments and your questions below, and on to the next video.